I'm going to demonstrate how Swimage can be utilized to apply a configuration set to an existing machine. Now that machine can be built through a vendor image, it can be built as an OEM, it can be built through AutoPilot. Regardless of the aspect or how it was built, what Swimage is going to do is apply its configuration set, which is its future state, to this machine, and it does this relatively quickly. So what I have here is a machine that has been autopiloted and it's logged in. It basically has no configuration, no settings already on it. So what we're going to do is apply this Swimage configuration to this. Now what we have is the SWAT, and we put it on the desktop. This is an application that is part of Swimage that you throw down as part of the agent that you can pull down through the store, or you can pull it from the website and install on this machine. I'll start by launching the SWAT. The SWAT is a Swimage Assist tool. Now keep in mind, everything that we're doing in the SWAT can be done automatically through scripting. You can also push this out through a central Swimage portal, and so you really don't need to touch it, but I'm going to do that through the SWAT today. Can kind of give you an experience that a user might do, or a technician if they want to do this manually. So SWAT gives you all kinds of capabilities with Swimage. What I'm going to do is go directly over to the deployment tasks, and you can do a couple of things in here. You can redeploy this machine. That is going to reimage the entire PC, which is not what we want to do here. You can migrate to a new PC. So if you have, this is running on an old system, you want to migrate all this configuration and settings from this machine to the new PC, you can use it to do that. Or you can apply kitting, which is basically applying a configuration set to this machine without reimaging it. So I'm going to do this. So it also goes through and validates that everything is ready to go. So it is ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy. And it gives you a warning. Are you sure you want to apply the new kitting configuration? Yes. Go to OK. And it's going to start. Within just a few seconds, you're going to get the Swimage conductor that comes up. And this is the engine that manages this actually application of all the settings and programs and such. It does a lot of analytics on the machine, identifies where it's at, what it's doing, what it needs. It pops up with the future state, and the future state is all the information it needs to configure this machine. Now, this future state can be configured in advance. It can be pre-provisioned on the server. It can be pre-provisioned on this machine individually. Or if it's not pre-provisioned, basically meaning you did it in advance, it'll give you the pop-up because it does need a future state. It needs to know what it's going to do. So you start with what's the computer name. You can change it here if you want to. I'm going to leave it alone. You then pick a role. So what role do we want? I don't want any data transfer. I'm going to say no data. Okay. And you can pick different operating systems or whatever. And then you have templates. And then templates will apply additional configuration to this machine. So this machine happens to be in the finance department, so I'm going to add that. I'm also going to add the IT department, and I'm going to add my enterprise apps. You don't have to add any templates. If you don't add any templates, you're going to get a generic build. These templates are entirely configurable. You decide what departments, what languages you have, anything. You can put it into a template and it will change the configuration. So you can stack as many templates as you want. As you add a template, you'll see certain things changing in some of the other tabs. So let's walk through some of these tabs. So this is the advanced tab, gives you which domain it's going to join. So it's going to join a domain, and Swimage will join the domain for you. It tells you where it's going to pull data from. It tells you which operating system, and you can change the operating system here if you wanted to. Okay, so it picks your operating system. It picks your time zone. If you don't pick a time zone, it will automatically detect where you're at and use that. That's also optional. And then you can change some of the support information. You can pick your backgrounds, those sorts of activities. Okay, we're not doing any migration here. This would be if you're doing like a domain migration or a PC to PC migration or in-place upgrade. It will migrate settings, and the settings are based on how you define them. So what is data, where is it at, how to collect it, where to store it. All that is built into Swimage automatically. You don't have to do anything other than say, I want to migrate data. Okay. Applications get configured based on the roles that you selected, and I can go through and I can say, well, in addition to the 3 apps that are selected here, I want to add a couple more. I want Chrome installed, maybe I want GIMP installed, and I want my SECM tools installed, things like that. You could add as many applications as you want, or you can move them from here. These will automatically get installed as part of the process. You have the same thing with registry punches. You can customize as many registry punches as you want to, and these are going to tweak the system any way you want, particular to this PC. And as you add templates, it will add whatever registry items are in that template to this to be installed. Same thing with custom scripts. You can set up different custom scripts. If you say I want SMB 1.0 turned on, you could add that custom script here. You can again add as many custom scripts as you like to. Same thing with Windows features. We have a lot of built-in Windows features that we want, and these are part of the templates we assigned. But you can go in and you can add as many other ones as you want to and say, yeah, I want to, for instance, disable my camera. You could actually go in and disable camera. Okay, things like that. Okay, and then disk configuration, it's going to leave the partitions the way they are because this is built in advance, so it's going to skip this configuration for the kitting. Okay. Once you're done with the mapping out of your future state, you can go ahead and hit the continue button and it will apply this future state. Okay. What it does is it locks a screen once the future state is completed, and this lock screen is optional, but it's there for pretty much safeguarding the PC so you really know what's going on. This is something you don't want to mess with while it's applying this configuration. It's also useful if you're doing this remotely. You can apply a configuration set or rebuild a machine to a kiosk, something that's public facing. You can lock the system so it's not going to be accessible during this deployment process. And it does it through the whole duration, whether you're re-imaging the box or just applying a configuration set like we're doing here. So first thing it does is install your OS components, and then it's going to go through and install your applications and so forth. Okay, what we're going to do is speed it up at this point so that we don't have to sit and watch it. The entire process and then probably takes around 5 to 10 minutes to complete. It has to go through and apply all your customizations, installing all your applications, and then it's going to go ahead and lock down the PC, and then finally it does the cleanup and reboots. Okay, it is complete. Here I'm going to go ahead and log into the system. You can see it's joined to my domain. I'll go ahead and log in. And you'll see it's customized the background, it's made out the configurations, it's added the applications we desired, and we're ready to use the machine. It's all configured. Now, once completed and logged in, you end up with a post-Swimage pop-up that comes up for the users. It allows them to do additional configurations like change their keyboard, change their language, time zone if needed. Most of those should have already been configured, but sometimes someone wants to customize it based on some of their specific needs. It also gives the ability to add additional applications. You can add as many applications as you want to here. These are optional that users can select and say, I want to get GIMP, for example, as an additional app, or Office applications. You'll check that and you'll apply the settings, and then it will install those applications as needed. And you can also add applications in here that are mandatory. So if you need a couple of additional apps or configurations while you're logged in as a user, Swimage can do that as well. Okay, Otherwise, everything is all configured. The PC is ready to go. They can continue working. They should have all their app settings based on your custom policies. Now, what Swimage can also do, now that you have it all configured, is it can pre-stage everything so that if you need to apply this later on, or do self-service reapplications, or do a complete reimage of this machine with all these exact same configurations, you can do that either from the self-service with the SWAT, or you can push it out through the portal, or you can actually create an event that says if certain things happen, if you get malware, those sorts of things, you can actually have it auto trigger, and it can rebuild this entire system, keep all the settings, all this application in place, and also migrate all your data.